Hello friends, welcome back to Yogahound, where we talk about all things yoga and yogi. Today for this show we have Sonia joining me again. As you guys know, she's the official mascot of Yogahound, and she's a miniature long-haired dachshund. Sonia and I are just enjoying some tea with cookies, which are delicious by the way, and I will be sure to put the recipe for these in the link below. They are oatmeal cookies with cranberries and brown rice flour, so they're super healthy, and Sonia really would like to have some, but she's not allowed because she's a dog, despite what she may think. On today's video, we're going to be talking about how to do Warrior II properly. Warrior II is a really popular pose that's used in Hatha yoga, power yoga, flow, usually sometimes hot yoga, so you will encounter it often. And it is a very important pose in yoga because it externally rotates your hips, it also engages your core, and it challenges your balance a little bit as well. Now, the pose is very important to know how to do properly because it puts a lot of pressure on your front knee, and we're going to address how to protect that front knee. Now, for some people, Warrior II can be a little bit scary because it's a really big pose where you have to make yourself really tall, really wide, really big, and take up a lot of space. And it's uncomfortable for people. We have the tendency to sort of curl in, hunch over, hide from the world. This is not what that pose is about. So hopefully this video will help you learn how to do Warrior pose properly so that you can practice it in the comfort of your own home, so that when you go to class you will become more comfortable with it and be able to rock your Warrior II pose no problem. Alright, now that I had my cookie, I am ready to demonstrate Warrior II. So whether you're getting into Warrior II from a standing position or from a downward facing dog, it doesn't really matter. What you want to make sure is that whatever your front leg is, so in my case it's going to be my left leg, I'm going to step it forward and my front toes are going to be facing the short front edge of my mat, and my back toes, I'm going to walk back a little bit, and my back toes are going to be facing the top right corner of my mat. So my toes, my back toes are not straight out like this, they're at about a 45-degree angle. Alright, so now we have our feet set up. The next thing you want to make sure of is that your front heel, in my case it's my left one, so I'm going to make sure that my left heel is on the same line as my right arch. Alright, so if I can draw a line, if I look down I can draw a line between my left heel and my right arch, I know that my foundation is good. Moving further up down the legs, what we're going to do is keep our back leg straight, but we're going to slowly bend our front knee. So if you recall, I mentioned while having a sip of tea that there is a lot of pressure on your front knee in this Warrior II pose. So now we're going to talk about how we protect that knee. First of all, you want to make sure that your front knee is directly over top of your front ankle. So you don't want it to be past your ankle like so, and you don't want it to be kind of behind your ankle like so, because all of those will put pressure on your knee in places you don't want it to. So again, knee directly over top of your ankle. The other thing you want to make sure of is that when you look down, you can see at least your big toe and your index toe. And that means that your knee is in proper alignment. What you want to watch out for is the tendency for the knee to fall in. So you don't want your knee to be doing this, where now I can see all of my toes. You really want to make sure you bring it back and point your knee towards your baby toe. Alright, so now we have our front leg set up, and you may start to feel a little bit like maybe your quads are starting to work, your hamstring is stretching, maybe your glutes are activating a little bit to help you keep yourself stable. So now we're going to turn our attention to the back leg. With the back leg, you want to be sure that your back knee is not falling in like this either, or I don't know anybody that would do it but not turning way out either. So in order to protect the back knee, what you want to think about is picture if you're wearing pants, there will be like an inside seam on your pants here, right? So picture like taking that seam and almost turning it up towards the ceiling. This action is not actually going to turn your knee up towards the ceiling, but what it will do is it will engage your glute muscles. And those glute muscles activating are going to help you stabilize, first of all, and second of all, keep that knee from rotating inwards. And that same action you want to also be applying to your front leg. So again, I'm going to picture that there's a seam of pants going right here, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to try to turn it up towards the ceiling, so I'm going to feel my glutes engaged. And my butt is actually working really hard here. Now I'm really feeling my quad burning, my glutes are really engaged, and actually my quad here is also really working. Now to keep myself stable, I'm also pressing into all four corners of my front foot, and I'm really sending the weight back into the outer edge of my back foot. Perfect. Now that we have our foundation set, we're gonna move on to our upper body. You wanna make sure that you're turning your chest or your entire upper body towards the long side of your mat. So you're opening up your chest. So you're not squaring it over to the front, you're not trying to look back, you're really just squaring to the long edge of your mat. Now, there's a tendency in Warrior II, and I will change my stance so I can show you guys a little bit better. All right, now, there is a tendency in Warrior II to overarch through the lower back. So what happens is something like this. So I turn my body, and boom, I stick my butt out. So first of all, did you see that? I stuck my butt out, my knee went. So now we have to readjust. We have to engage them glutes, and we have to think about sucking our belly button into our spine to activate our core. When I do that, my back can't arch like this. Okay, so here my core is relaxed. I'm not doing anything, I'm just hanging out. I'm doing a little bit of a twerk. All of a sudden I'm thinking I'm Beyonce, that's not the look we're going for. Then I'm gonna suck my belly button into the spine, I'm gonna engage my core, and I am no longer arching through my back like that. You wanna be sure that your core is really engaged in Warrior II, which will help you stabilize, but also protect your low back. All right, so I'm back on my left side now. And like I was saying just a second ago, my core is really engaged and it helps me stay balanced in this pose, but it also protects my low back and it doesn't allow it to overarch. So now that we have our core engaged, what we're gonna do is think about widening our collarbones. So really, at the back, you're gonna think about squeezing your shoulder blades together and widening the collarbones while keeping your core engaged. Good. Now, think about shrugging your shoulders away from the ears. A lot of people want to do this. I'm exaggerating, but you get it. Relax the ears away from the shoulders. Good. Now that we're here, you're going to take your arms out to a T. Look at your arms. Make sure that they're on the same level, and your fingertips are reaching in opposite directions with purpose. So you're not here, you're not here. You're reaching in opposite directions with purpose. Good. Reset. Shoulders away from the ears. Shoulder blades squeezed together, collarbones wide. Core engaged, glutes working, quads burning, knee over top of your front ankle, back knee, not falling in. I'm pressing into all four corners of my front foot and the back edge of my back foot. What do I do with my head? Good question. You're just gonna gaze towards your front middle finger. Just like so. So you're looking forward with purpose. So everything about this pose is big, powerful, and filled with purpose. Now if you hold this long enough, you're gonna start to feel the burn kind of everywhere. Just remember to breathe. Now what I find really helps me when I'm in this pose for a while and I'm starting to feel things burn, take a big breath in, and as I exhale, I picture my breath going into the muscle that's really burning and in a sense putting out that fire. My breath and sustaining the breath really helps me stay in this pose. So that was Warrior II. Hopefully the next time you're attending a yoga class, you will have a little bit of a better understanding of what you're supposed to feel like in Warrior II. Because I find a lot of the time we know what a pose is supposed to look like, but how do we know if we're doing it right? And I'm hoping that these videos will help you understand what it's supposed to feel like when you're in a certain pose, not just what it's supposed to look like. Now, I just want you guys to keep in mind that I'm not saying this is the only way to do any of these poses or it is the absolute right way. This is just how I've been taught to do the poses in my 200-hour yoga teacher training, and I find that it really helps me understand how I'm supposed to feel in a pose, and I just wanted to share that and pass that on to you guys in the hopes that hopefully it will help you out as well and make you feel more comfortable. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If there are any questions that you have, or if there are any other yoga poses that you would like to see broken down, leave it in the comment below and I will be sure to do that in my next video. Also, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring the bell to make sure that you stay up to date and current in all of the content that I post, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much again for watching and have an amazing day.